bunch of Bondo out of it. This had actually been repaired twice. So I went in, cut a repair panel out. It's getting ready to go in. I was able to use part of the old repair. It worked out to my advantage to go ahead and cut this little section out, because underneath that was more rust, needed more repair, easier to get to. This will be a pretty simple fix. So, here we go. Duct tape makes a real easy template. Very fortunate we were able to have the very edge of the fender so we can have a contour line there. A couple spots and try to work it into the shape as we go along. Repaired the panel. It's not finished because what's going to happen is we will roll a piece of metal off the bottom of the door that'll tie into here, and it should all drift into the corner here and look good.
The Volkswagen car has an engine that is air-cooled, and of course in the rear of the car. And this shroud here is what contains the fan or blower that cools the engine. But this outlet here and this inlet here is where a flexible tube would go and actually blow air around the hot exhaust system and blow heated air toward the front of the car. It wasn't a very effective system, didn't work very well in cold climates, but if you walk on around, you can see that the body structure itself is actually what was the tube that conducted the air toward the front of the car to heat the car. So the air was actually carried, and you can see on the other side over there, there's a hole. You can see that where the air came out, and so the heated air came forward. So these cars didn't heat very well. The previous, or the original owner of the car actually had installed a gasoline-fired heater. This is a hose that connected to the gas tank. It actually burned gasoline. It was called an Arctic heater that heated this car. And that's why there's this hole cut right here. It blew hot air into the engine, into the passenger compartment from burning gasoline.
little bit of the original into the fender again. I haven't done much of this, but it's turning out really nice. I had my piece of tape, I made my reference cuts, way short of where my tank was, and then I'm just slowly inching it in. And if you come over here to the front, or the side of the car, it doesn't look too bad. It's truly following the curve of the car. Pretty proud of that one. That's it. All right.
Karmann Ghia that we're working on is currently owned by its original owner, who purchased it new in February of 1960. Will Dietzel is his name. He currently resides in California, Missouri. Will and his wife Sandy got married in September of that same year. Actually took the car on their honeymoon, have owned it ever since. It's well documented that it has over 400,000 miles on it. It has sat in a barn for approximately 30 years and has basically not been in operating condition. And so it had gotten in pretty poor condition from sitting for so long.
Will and Sandy and the entire family are extremely good people, and their 50th wedding anniversary was coming up in 2010, which is when the idea first come around. It would be nice for them to be able to take it out for one more drive.
That would have been their 50th.
That would have been their 50th wedding anniversary. Knowing that I had just finished the Volkswagen Beetle previously, they thought, hey, let's ask Calvin if he might be interested in it. So the idea got started just before their wedding anniversary, and it's taken a long time. As my Uncle Dean said, it had been in storage for 30 years. Will had slowly started getting ready to pull it out of the barn, got fresh tires for it, and just slowly was trying to make up his mind if we were going to take on this project at all. His daughters, Toby, Vicky, and Anna Lynn had all said, hey, why don't we get him nudged a little bit? So as time progressed, I got more involved in it. And make this long story short, I truly would like to do something special for them. They have been friends of the family. Now they've called me their son. So it's just a project of love.
Tell basically what the original marching orders were that were given to us for this car.
I was given very specific instructions from Sandy, the wife of Will, and she says, I don't care what else you do, but I don't want my feet to get wet the next time we go for riding it.
And if you look at the little car, it's a Volkswagen. It basically resides on the same chassis the Volkswagen Beetle platform was on. And Calvin just recently had finished restoring a Volkswagen Beetle that was a 5-year undertaking, total restoration. So he had certainly a lot of technical knowledge and expertise and a passion for Volkswagens. Years ago, back in the day, I played with bugs a lot, had my share of them. So I had a lot of interest in it as well. So it looked to me like something fun, something I felt familiar with to get involved with. So. And Chuck, I know you're like me. You might want to speak up a little bit. You're just passionate about jumping in and working on cars.
And when I walked in the building and saw the body, just blew me away. Reminds me of something that you would race in the 60s.
Like a 30-minute television sitcom, you know, it just all solved itself in 30 minutes.
So many problems from the day that they delivered it on a trailer to my house. Everything as you could only imagine, sitting for 30 years. From the time it hit the driveway at my house until today, and continuing on today, there's been just one surprise after another.
Everything from rotting hoses that are critical, things like the fuel line, brakes, you know, things that are critical.
Volkswagen's has what they call a rag wheel. It's like a safety buffer between the steering shaft and the steering box. It's what joins the two pieces together. And this one, I took pictures of it. You could literally turn the steering wheel an entire half a turn and it would finally hit something metal against metal. That's the only reason the steering would turn at all. There was only one bolt that was still securing this out of 4. My Uncle Dean said, hey, let me give you a hand on this project because I've not had any paint experience. It was an opportunity for him and myself and friends and other family to all come together and do this project of love that I started.
And, you know, and I think for Chuck and I, we've continued to be involved with cars for years, but a lot of the new materials and techniques and things that are current today, we're pretty old school. And so this has been a nice experience for us. We've seen a lot of new tools and techniques and things that are used in the automotive repair that we weren't familiar with. And so it's been kind of a crash course in some of the modern equipment and supplies that are out there. So that's been fascinating too. And just the satisfaction of getting, as Calvin said, to work with family. As you know, my other nephew, Jacob Whitlow, has been here to help us. One of our friends, Mark Pettit, Ron Procracki. We've had a number of people coming in and out helping us with this. So a chance to get some people together, have some fun, learn some things we didn't know about an old car. And the 3 daughters basically had said, we want mom and dad to go for one last ride in the old car. Well, that seems simplistic, but really, if you're going to do that, the car needs to be safe, it needs to be in operating condition, it needs to be clean, and it needs to be presentable. And hopefully, we'll have a finished product that these people will be very, very tickled to see. That'll be exciting for them when it's unveiled to them and they get to go for a ride in it.
Sandy, I hope your feet aren't wet the next time you go out.